Hey, this is John Campanelli, editor of Waste and Recycling News, and I'm here at Waste Expo with Charlie Appleby, CEO of Advanced Disposal, based in Florida.
Jacksonville, Florida, yes.
All right, it's a pleasure. Thanks for stopping in.
My pleasure.
How are things going? You having a good show?
I think it has been a good show. It seems to be a lot more activity on the floor than in the past, so we keep saying that we're in this recovery, this downturn is over, and the recovery started, and hopefully we're starting to see the beginning of that.
How is the merger acquisition? Do you buy any companies this week?
We've always been very active on the acquisition front. It always amazes me when I see the statistics on that. We started in November of 2000, and since that time we have done 96 acquisitions.
Okay.
And we've spent over $500 million on those acquisitions since November 2000. And so, yeah, it still continues to be active. A lot of opportunities out there, and it'll be an exciting year. The change in the tax code coming will probably push some people later on this year when they start seeing that, gosh, that increase in tax is going to cost us quite a bit of money. So we see it as a very active acquisition year.
Okay, so that's very informative, but good job of not answering so there are a lot of mom and pop operations still. There'll always be. To those companies who might look to become the next Advanced Disposal, to have this great growth, a 10, 11-year run, what advice do you have for them to get their business moving up and get into that fast lane like you guys do?
The biggest challenge in growing a business like we have, like everybody in this industry has, is very capital intensive. And so the availability of capital, either through equity or debt financing, is probably one of the biggest challenges that most smaller companies have to grow to that next level. And there's an area in there we call no man's land. You know, a person goes out and maybe work for a company like Advanced Disposal, and for whatever reason leaves and understands and knows the business pretty well, goes out and buys a truck, maybe buys 2 trucks, maybe repairs the truck at night, maybe his spouse or maybe her spouse runs the office, and does the billing. And you can do that. You get 2, 3, and 4 trucks, and that's a pretty nice business for them. They can live very well. But going from that 4 or 5 trucks to 10 or 12 trucks, we call it no man's land. You really need to have a controller. There's just a whole different scheme of things. The billing is much more difficult, and it requires those administrative processes that somebody that may be focused totally on operations doesn't have much experience in. And so it's going from that level to that next level of 10 or 15 trucks. If they get through that, and they do it successfully, then they probably have a much better relationship with a banker. There may be some ability to attract some private capital, as we did, and that gives them the ability to grow the company.
You guys do a great job with marketing, and I think that's a big component. I did an article about you guys have a truck now that will go out to birthday parties.
Yes.
And how important is marketing, and are there some really quick and easy things people can do to market their companies?
Well, I mean, marketing is important. I've got a great marketing person, Mary O'Brien, my Chief Marketing Officer, and she makes that part of our job very, very easy. So that's the advantage of being a larger company, having a professional like Mary to assist in that regard. But but marketing is always important, and the best thing you can do as marketing is customer service. We can have the glitziest, most polished marketing program there is, but the best marketing we have is referrals from our existing customers. And so for those smaller companies, customer service is how you really grow the company. Because if you grow that company, you have a very satisfied customer. They tell their friend, their neighbor, their buddy, a business associate, and they're looking for somebody to handle their waste business, and you get a phone call. But that's probably the best piece of marketing anybody can do, is focus on customer service.
Stick to the basics.
It's always about the basics.
Now, yesterday at the Lunch and Learn, you mentioned we're talking about the future of the industry, and you mentioned the word waste itself might not be the right word anymore. What did you mean by that?
Well, I do a lot of interviews like this, talk to bankers a lot, investors, etc. And our strategy used to be that we want to control the waste stream from inception to disposal. And now that's been slightly amended to say we want to control the waste stream from inception to disposal or beneficial reuse. And so the beneficial reuse, the waste stream conversion, is a much more important part of what we do today than it was 2, 3, or 4 years ago. And so, our concept is we want to be able to take whatever we can in that waste stream and use it in some other beneficial manner. So I don't know if we ever get to 100%. I'm not concerned about not having any landfills 10 years from now. I think that's still the most viable, certainly in the Southeast where we operate, the most viable way to dispose of waste.
And economical too.
Economical. So, but waste carries with the concept it doesn't have any value. So that's why I question is waste the right term? Because if we've reused it, all we're talking about is the residual of that waste stream that ended up going into maybe to a landfill. Because everything else that we can economically use some other way, we want to do that.
Well, thank you for taking time out today. I hope you let us know when you get your 100th acquisition.
We'll let you know.
All right, it's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.